Hello, today's video tutorial is about visually appealing presentations. I'm going to share with you 3 tips to wow your viewers. Tip number 1 is typography. Typography is written language, and we typically call this font. So there's different font styles that can be used. The main tips here are to make sure the font you use is legible. We do want it to be creative and appealing, catch the eye, but you also want to balance that interesting font with simpler fonts. Good example here is this more interesting cursive type font for typography, and then the bulk of the information has more of a simple font that is very easy to read. On this slide, I have a bad example. Some funky fun fonts, but when I mesh 3 types of funky fonts together, it's just too much going on. So this is a bad example. I would want for these bulks of text to be simpler fonts to use. So nothing wrong with each of these individually, it's just using them all in combination or for lengthier pieces of text. Makes it difficult to read and focus. Tip number 2 is the screen design. So this is the layout of your presentation, how you piece together the different text and media pieces and your overall layout design that you might use in your Google Slides or other presentation methods. So we want to try and make sure that our presentation is clean, organized, and not cluttered. So I've tried to keep with a consistent layout. Not that you can't mix it up, but I'm just using some templates to kind of go off of here, and it really guides you through that. But instead of just doing basic topic text, I'm being sure to include and fill and balance out this right side of my slide 2 with an image and another key fact or point here. And I wanted to make it more interesting, so I used a color box, and that color ties in with the theme of my whole slide here. Here's a poor example. There's just a lot going on. This slide is a lot more cluttered. And I also don't like the choice of this bright orange, even though it goes with my theme. I think my eye's drawn there instead of to my key information that I'm wanting to view. I also don't like the layout of these images over here and how they're overlapping. I think we need to think about the style of images we use. This is an actual picture of a house and this is a clip art. So depending on your topic, one might make more sense than the other, but using both in combination like that, I feel is distracting. Our third topic is media. So some of those images I was just discussing, we want to make sure the images we use or the videos we use add interest to your slides and not take away. They should just enhance the topic. Use it to make it interesting, but don't overcrowd. Make sure if you do use multiple on the same slide, you're organizing them and aligning the images so they look like you thoughtfully placed them. So I can see these 3 pieces of media were thoughtfully placed. There's a common theme with them as well that would hopefully apply to my topic of birds. Also, down here I have a Bitmoji I was using throughout my slides to try and tie them together, make it a little bit more fun and interesting. I snuck in a Bitmoji that applied to each of the slides. I didn't want this to be a distractor though, so I made sure to scale them down to a smaller size. And then finally, here is a poor example of media. There's just a lot going on here, and it's taking away from the key information. Nothing wrong with including a lot of different animals, if that's what I'm talking about, but I would want to try and find an image that includes them all together, or 1 or 2 images, instead of having 7 different ones. My eye doesn't know where to focus, and then I don't actually end up really reading this. I'm confused as to how are these all tying together. To recap, our 3 tips and things we want to think about for a visually appealing presentation are the typography, screen design, and media used. Thanks for watching.